So Jackson State had a great defense. But what if I told you that everyone played a part? We get the James Houstons, the DeJohn Nugget Warrens, and many others. Keontae Hamptons. We get those players. But what about another player who did his job and did it to perfection? That player is Nyles Gaddy. And I'm telling you right now, it's just the beginning for that brother. What's good, everyone? This is DJ's Raw Uncut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Peace, blessings, and joy to everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day, good energy and synergy to the family. Now, today's topic's about Nyles Gaddy. For those who actually watch Jackson State, watch the film, and break down the players objectively, with no biases at all, just watching the game, you know that when you play a cover 0, cover 1 defense, yes, there's blitzing, but there is also a player that has to quote unquote stay home, meaning contain. You have to have somebody that can contain in this conference. There's a lot of dual threat quarterbacks in a SWAC. We all know it. Since there's dual threat quarterbacks, since there's high tempo offenses and creative offensive strategies, shout out to the SWAC offensive coordinators. And for those who are listening, the only kryptonite in the SWAC is the offensive line. Now, shout out to Southern. They have a great offensive line, but that's one of the few. Since Dennis Thurman knows about the SWAC and its offensive play calling players, especially the mobile quarterbacks, he has to have a player that can only contain. And that's Nyles Gaddy. James Houston was the perfect player to be the main edge rusher, main blitzer of the team because of his athletic ability and his off-the-charts technique. In a couple of videos ago, I talked about how Nyles Gaddy, he's improving every day, every game, it seems, because he finally gets to have one-on-one coaching. When he was at Tennessee, you know how the SEC is. If you're not a 4 or 5 star, you're not getting like that hands-on coaching that you need to get to elevate your potential. And Nyles Gaddy didn't get that until he got to Jackson State. He has the measurables. He's 6'5". He has a long wingspan, quick hands, just learning the tricks and the trades of being on a defensive line. So the measurables are there, the talent is there, but I want to point out why a lot of folks was hating on this kid. And I remember the SWAC media day, and they were questioning, why is Nyles Gaddy there but not other players? We got to realize, as the viewer, the people that are not in the practices or anything, we don't know who's the leaders of this team and who stands out the most. We're not there. And it could be possible that Nyles Gaddy in the offseason did all the right things from a player's perspective, also academically. So I believe Coach Prime is great on judging character, great on selecting who's a leader and who's not. That's why I can never speak on the decisions of a coaching staff. Again, we're not there. We don't see, we can only go by hearsay. But instead of congratulating this young man for doing the right things constantly and to being a team player, he seems like a player that doesn't care about his stats. He's not always, well, I didn't have 3 sacks in a game. He's doing what he's coached to do, and his job is hold containment so the other players can blitz. Everyone on this Jackson State defense is important. And instead of celebrating each individual, the detractors who really do not want Jackson State to be successful, they will nitpick and pick on someone who wasn't the quote-unquote star of the defense. But I'm here to tell you, next season, with another year in this weight program, and another year with this defensive coaching staff, Nyles Gaddy could have a breakout year. A breakout year. I'm calling it down. I believe he's hungry. I believe he's one of those players that's always feed off the motivation and has a professionalism to his game. This is a man's man, playing in a man's game. And I'm so excited. If you're a Jackson State fan, you got to be just elated on the possibility of another year with this team, with the players coming back, Aubrey Miller. And don't be surprised if Nyles Gaddy puts on some extra mass with the frame he has, the height, the whipping span, the quick twitch. Look out. So don't be surprised if he takes his game to another level. Again, let me remind you, the first year where he has one-on-one coaching, NFL coaches that is, that's played in the league, that coach in the league, that understands the league. That's the difference. But I knew what it was, man, when Nyles Gaddy was in the podium speaking and people was like, oh, who's he? He's not this player. He's not that player. When you're winning, the detractors will always pick a player who's not the overall guy. Like James Houston is better than a lot of defenders in the SWAC and HBCUs. He's better than a lot of defenders in the FCS. So that's kind of, what's the word? That's kind of like unfair to say, well, he doesn't have the sacks like James Houston. Well, everybody can't be James Houston. And how many players in the FCS is a James Houston type of player? Don't worry, I'll wait. The only player that got more sacks than him is Isaiah Land, and James Houston is stronger and bigger than Isaiah Land. And I like Isaiah Land's game, by the way, and I believe he's coming back next year for FAMU. That's going to be a big plus for them. So we all know that James Houston is the guy, and he deserves to be drafted high. A linebacker who played middle linebacker at Florida turned into an edge. He could play both. If he's not drafted in that at least the late second, third round, something is wrong. I don't care what conference it is. I've seen James Houston produce in the SEC. I've seen him produce here. He's always been that guy. But back to Nyles Gaddy. I'm telling you right now, when you see him bigger than the previous year, more experience, so the IQ is going to be up. He already has a high IQ. You know what people are going to say? Man, I didn't see that coming. But this is why you have to watch film. Stop going off these numbers and not understanding the tape. There's a reason why Jackson State can't blitz everybody on that, whether the whole defense. You got to have someone to contain. If they didn't do that, let me give you an example. When they played against Mississippi Valley, if Nyles Gaddy was the main guy, if he wasn't the main guy containing Eason or whatever, the quarterback from Mississippi Valley State, he would have ran roughshod on that defense. Nyles Gaddy, his job is to make sure everybody on the defense is able to do their job. and it works. They never talk about the bad footballs he get because of his hand-eye coordination. But hey, just keeping it real with y'all, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna keep doing these player profile videos. Shout out to Nyles Gaddy. I really believe that he's going to take his game to another level. Again, he's just learning this year. This is his first year of having that one-on-one training, that experience. And now he knows how it is in the SWAC. And look out. This is DJ's Raw and Cut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Stay blessed, stay positive. Whether if you agree with me or disagree, it's all good. And I'm out.